Hey guys, welcome back to my Minecraft world. It's episode 26 and yeah, it's the post-lore video. Uh, so yeah, last video was the big lore dump and talked about the sort of start of this world from like a lore perspective with like the Big Bang and like gods being spawned out of the explosion and all this stuff, and talked about like me and as the player and like how I fit into the lore. Then there was a bit about the different the other peoples that live in the world, other than like human villagers, right? So we have elves and dwarves. So because it was the lore video, I didn't really do anything except show some of the new builds being built. So figure I'll do my normal like walkthrough after a build. I'll do that in this video and just let the lore video be the lore video. And yeah, I've come back to Start Village because that's where the first of the three builds is. And yeah, this is my old storage room, and it's I've left some stuff here that I couldn't be. Ooh, I might actually take the stone with me. Yeah, there's stuff that I couldn't be bothered to take, or I left some stuff just in case I needed to build something in the village. But yeah, this is I need to rework this at some point. But anyway, it's not what we're here for. So yeah, the build in the starter village, just over here, is meant to be a kind of church sort of thing, more like a shrine, I guess. Yeah, the main tower is kind of inspired by a church near me, which I usually put up a screenshot or something, or a picture rather, but I won't do that this time just because, you know, it's like you could figure out where I live. So yeah, this, and then I guess like in a church, this would be like the bit where the congregation sits and whatever. I didn't want it to be like an actual church because this is kind of more like a monument to the entity. I guess I can name the gods now, right? So the entity who brought copper and metalworking to the people of the village. Yeah, this is meant to be like it's all about the copper. Oh, I think these weren't in the time lapse during the lore episode. This was like stuff that I came back and did off camera. I've like filled in the books, added the armor to the armor stands and stuff, and just remembered I missed one of these bookcases. Let's do that. And at some point in the future, when I've got like a actual like definitive version of the lore, not just the bird's eye view broad strokes version like in the lore episode, I'll come back to all these different monuments and stuff, and I'll actually put the lore into the world. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, we've got like the different stages of copper, got little copper mini blocks everywhere. It's all just meant to be like, this is the history of the village, I guess, recorded in the shrine, and like documenting the visit from the entity. And I guess that's what will be in here, talking about his visit, talking about what he taught them and stuff. So, but then something which I didn't show in the lore video because it's not related is the stuff down here. So just a quick look in these corners, bit more stuff. I feel like I need to come up, like the reason I had copper be a thing in the village, it wasn't because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have this god that brought knowledge to all the peoples of the world and stuff. It's like, no, they just added copper to the game, and I needed a way to justify it in my world. Just to justify me wanting to build with it all the time, right? but now I'm like, they've added the cherry trees and I use the saplings everywhere. So I feel like maybe I need to come up with something behind the sapling, the cherry sapling. But anyway, as I was saying, the bit I didn't show was I built this little bit down here. Did I show this? I don't think I showed this. But yeah, this is actually, we are in a slime chunk. And this is my little slime farm down here. Just a simple little thing. It's not very big. And this is my first ever lichen generator thing. So yeah, that's I mean, this is tiny, I think. How do I do this? Can I look down here? Yeah, I've only got like 2 levels here for slime to spawn. But yeah, I figured this is as good a place as any to build this shrine thing. Because otherwise it was just, there was just those like bubble elevator down and the hole down. They were just holes in the ground, in the grass. So yeah, I finally had something to build here to cover those up. So that's the first of the 3 builds. Right, something I've decided to do is I need to go to each of these things that I built and take a map of them. But also, I want to take a fresh map of the starter village with this on it now. And that can go in the museum in the town. Let me just fly into my house and sleep. Okay, I just made those maps and I used up more than I thought I would. So I'm going back to the town to add some, to get some more from my cartographer villager. But I thought I might as well just put these maps up straight away. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? Okay, I've missed a map off somewhere. And actually, thinking about it, I don't know where in the museum these are going to go. But I figure I'll have like a starter village corner. Put some copper blocks in there maybe and whatnot. Do I do it in here? I know I've got this map. This is going to be the updated map. No, this isn't going to be the updated map. This is the original, like, development just started map. I guess I'll put it over here, and then I'll be like, this is like village corner, look from the past going into the future. That makes sense to me. Okay, let's do these. Oops. Right, this. You know what? I think it's got to be. How's this going to work? Right, let's do that. Yeah, it's got to go this way. So, this goes there. Huh, have I don't know what I've done here. Wait, didn't want to take that one down. This goes there. Yeah, this one I don't want. That's the mistake I made. There we go. So, I think my previous map of this area... you know what? Just for completion's sake. Do I need to do one there just to get that corner? I don't know. But, yeah, I haven't seen the map like this size. I think my map that's in the village town hall, which is there, I think it's a zoomed out one, so I don't have this level of detail. But that looks so cool to me. Just admiring my own work there, but that looks really cool. Got that cherry tree I added in a video. And then, yeah, we've got the new copper shrine put in over here. So I guess if I ever update the village again, this is the map that I update. And I might actually have to go and fill in these maps just to make the 3x3. But how many maps do I have left? 2. Actually, I don't think I'll need more than... I should just get some more just to be safe. But yeah, that's the village done. What's that? Oh, I've got like a black stone floor there. And there's like a courtyard with stone and diorite in it. Not diorite, granite in there. Because that's the mine entrance. Okay, back on track. I'll get some more maps and then we will go to our dwarven... I'm calling it an outpost in my notes, but it's more of a mine entrance, I guess. Oops. So while I'm waiting to sleep and I'm about to make a little journey over to the dwarf place, figure I'd talk a little bit about the last episode and this episode. So this episode I'm taking it a bit easy. I'm not doing any builds, it's just the walkthroughs. Because the episode 25 with the lore stuff was just, I expected it to be a bit more work than usual, but I didn't anticipate just how much work I was going to do on it. So yeah, and also it was a mistake doing the week of an episode every day leading up to this. In my head I'm like, oh, let's do the 5 videos like leading up to it, to kind of like hype up the big lore video. But it ended up leaving me with fewer days between episodes in order to work on it, which was then like less time than I was spent on a normal video, but now I'm working on the most ambitious video that I've ever made. So yeah, it was just way too much work. And like I made a bunch of new like background tracks for music for the different parts. But what I actually wanted to do, which was just, again, way too much work, was I wanted to have distinct musical themes for each of the factions. So going forward, when I'm doing like a dwarf build or something, I've got like specific music for that I associate with that faction, or for the elves, or for the different gods maybe. But then on top of all that, we just had a heat wave that whole week, and it just made working on it just so unbearable. It got so hot in my room, and I was working like from morning till like 10 in the evening every day trying to make that thing, and it was just unbearable. But yeah, made it through to the other side. So I guess it was, well, I was about to say I guess it was all worth it, but I seem to have fallen out of favor with the YouTube algorithm somehow. I don't know if it's because I ended up taking that week off in the eyes of like the upload schedule. But yeah, it seems to have been pushed out to like a third of the people that normally see the video in order to click on it, like showing up in their recommended or whatever, which is that's a shame, because that was like the most work I've put in a video, and then the fewest people have watched it, which kind of sucks a bit. But whatever, let's just keep grinding and keep posting. And yeah, anyway, back to this. So this is admittedly a mini version of a like dwarf mine entrance. It's more of a, not so much a mine entrance, it's more like a settlement, a small settlement. I've referred to it as an outpost before. So in my sort of my planning for the world, we have like one-off things like the lumberyard, which is kind of like a build that's like the flavor of the human settlements, away from a settlement that adds sort of depth to the world, right? Then it steps up to Outpost, which is like, I don't really think I have an Outpost human-wise. Oh, Outpost, yeah, in the desert. That'll be like a more focused build that I'll probably use from time to time. Like if I ever go to the desert, I've got a little base of operations there, that sort of thing. So this little dwarf place, as well as the elf tower, which I'll go to next, they're that sort of outpost tier where I guess if I was a dwarf, I might come here from time to time. So as it is at the moment, it's just the gate. And I said it was mini because for an actual settlement, I expect these statues to be 3 or 4 times as tall, more detailed, more formidable, way more detail and stuff on the gate itself and like on the walls and stuff. So I'll come back to these statues because yeah, those are important. Got the banners. I've never done sort of organic builds, and at some point I do want to build a dragon. I need to build the red dragon from the lore video, but for the time being, because the sun god is the dwarf's like primary god, and the dragon was the sun god's champion, that's why he's on their banners. Not a working door, but let's go in here. I was looking for places to build this, and there was just a hole, like a big cave entrance here, just a natural cave, which I built over. And that seemed like, oh good, I found somewhere that looks like an entrance into a cave. I've ended up putting a wall over it anyway, so whatever. But this also happened to have this this area down here where I feel like I can make this into a small dwarf settlement, like a little, I don't know, it's going to be a mine. So we've got the ravine here where we can maybe like build some cranes and stuff, pulling ores up and stone and whatnot. And then we can have like an ore washing place, maybe work this in somehow. Maybe like a little shop for, like a bartering station for people who are passing by to come and like get some copper or something maybe. Oh, that would be great if there was a geode down here. Try and work in the elves somehow. Yeah, and then maybe like a couple of houses or something in here. Little dwarf apartments or something. But yeah, that's what this place is going to be eventually when I figure out how to do dwarf builds and stuff. So yeah, this was admittedly quite plain and simple and small, but small on purpose. I didn't realize this until I was editing the video, but I need to redesign this like little staircase courtyard area. Partly because I don't want round corners on the dwarf stuff. I want it to be all angles. Anything that's remotely circular, I want it to be like octagonal. But I don't know if you can see it from here, but maybe a bit higher. Let's get on this tree. Yeah, I guess I had to come down. This is a unfortunate shape, which I didn't realize until editing. So let's just not even look at that. It's embarrassing. I'm about to do a map of it as well. Oh no. Well, I guess this shall just be a joke going forwards. That that's how this was initially. Oh, it's all stubby on the map as well. Okay. Dear me. Okay, well, that's the dwarf outpost, which will be amended at some point. And I'll update the map, hopefully. But, oh, yes, that's what I need to do, is talk about the statues. So, I was trying to build something that would fit this scale. My own, like, dwarf statue. And I came up with something that I thought was pretty good and would have worked, but it was just a little bit too big for the the size of the area that I was at. I never really finished the design, but it's like 80% there. But I've got that in my bag now, I guess. But these little statues, these are adapted from, I don't know how to say his name. Is it Noodler? Noodlaw? Or MC Noodlaw, depending where I've seen his screen name. I found him on Reddit, but I think he's like around on the internet, or was. I haven't seen any new posts from him for a few years, but he's got all these cool builds. Like he had a thing called like Chunk World. There's all these builds that fit into a chunk, and they're all like different architectural designs and stuff, and they all looked really cool. And then he had a similar thing where it was all these different statues and decorations and stuff. And he has these dwarf statues, which they're not made out of this stuff. It's all like, you know what? I'll put a screenshot up. So what I did was I adapted it to this. Like I feel like the dwarves would build from stone because they're miners and stone workers and stuff. So yeah, they used like different stone types for the statues, and then I added these tools. So this one's kind of like a big axe or something, or a hammer. I don't want to get set on fire. And then this one's a big hammer. Thought that was pretty cool. So what I need to do is go back in here, and let's do it on here. So we'll do that, and just like with the redstone stuff, credited where the stuff came from. So using his design, I assume it's a he, and yeah, that's forever gonna live there. As this is the first place I've built dwarf stuff. These are the first times I'm using these statues, and yeah, that is this area looked at. So let's move on to the elf place, which is very far away. I'm going to go on the nether roof and try and build a portal there and come out where the elf place is. So let's hope I did the math correctly. Right, fingers crossed this comes out where I need it to. Okay, here we go. Ah, oh, perfect. Exactly. I was worried I was going to come out on top of a tree, but we're down on the surface. So the I really like this area. So if we just come down here a little bit, walking out from where the portal is, and then we look up, there's our elf tower. But then also, so I was just mentioning with the dwarf stuff, right? This is what I classify as an outpost. And I'm thinking of it as how I said in the lore episode, I've got like this sort of RTS game sort of tech tree idea for as I move on from settlement to settlement, the tech level will increase. I guess I'm also thinking of it in terms of like the small builds, like the lumberyard, and then we've got the outpost builds, which is a little bit like one step up, and then a step up from that will be like a village or something. So I've got the outpost, which in my mind would be like off away from settlements, out in the wilds where you wouldn't build a settlement, but there's something there that you would want to oversee, right? Like the desert place. We needed a foothold in the desert because that's where I needed to get away from all the stuff I'd pre-generated, trying to find all the new stuff that got added with all the armor trims and so on. Yeah, so maybe at some point the elves came here and they wanted to, I don't know, let's fly up here. There's a village nearby. So maybe they came here and they wanted to study the early humans that had built this village, maybe, or something like that. But then, actually, yeah, let's get up here and look at this. So, I mean, look at this place. How can I not build something here? So the reason I've got the portal down the bottom here instead of up with the tower, I'm going to build an elf little settlement on here. Maybe like 4 to 6 buildings, maybe. But, I mean, how can I not build here? Like, ignoring all this stuff, just this area, right? You've just got this big lake with the island in the middle, and then you've got all these cool little features like these little archways down here, and you like got flanked by these like big plateaus and stuff. And it's just like, oh, how can I not build down here? So yeah, I've got the dwarf little settlement inside the mountain to build, and I've got this to build. Right, now I will fly up here hopefully and do a quick sleep. So I might as well start up here just because I just slept up here just to skip to daytime. So in the floor we've got the geode represented in the floor pattern, same block palette as the spawn temple, kind of suggesting that the elves had something to do with the construction of that thing. Yeah, and then we've got purple stuff everywhere because it's the same colour as amethyst, which the elves need to make their spyglasses so they can look at the moon. So that's what this is meant to be. This is, I did mean to bring a spyglass so I could compare. Actually, do I have one in my toolbox? I don't think I do. I do. Right, so first off, the default icon for the spyglass, this is gold, right? But you actually use copper. So that's why I've used copper here. So, yeah, we've got a bigger spyglass. This is meant to be like a telescope, and this is like a thing so they can move it around. Like a tripod, that's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, that's what this is meant to be. And I've got this idea in my head of like, anytime the elves build an outpost or a settlement or something, at some point they need to have a telescope, like a bigger telescope. Everywhere they go, they'll want to observe the moon because it's their sacred icon or whatever. So yeah, there will always be a telescope. Hopefully I'll be able to, I feel like it's because I've built it at this size, it's not particularly detailed, but yeah, it's like a symbol for a spyglass. Let's put this book up here. So I've got another station. This is the first ever elf outpost, elf building. So I need to, at some point, write a bit of a lore for this area. And I guess it'll... No, I'll need separate lore for that. For that little settlement. Oop, oh dear. Oh, I'm being shot at. Hello. Yeah, that's right. Run away. So, these multicolored glass pillar things, I mean, functionally they're here to stop the water just spreading out everywhere. But also, the elves are going to be like my primary magic users. This guy, man, he's being a bit of a troll. So yeah, so that's what these are meant to be. These are meant to be sort of like magical beam type things helping you ascend. And I've not put a bubble column in here because can't get down easily. If for some reason I'm up there and maybe my elytra's broken or something, need a safe way to get down. So that's what that is. And then again, geode pattern in the floor. And this has been here for millennia possibly. So it's got, I mean, this is for decoration purposes, but otherwise this guy shoots me and I'm gonna be livid. Okay, just gonna deal with him now. Oh my god, he's wrecking me. What the hell? Yeah, so I didn't want to go crazy with it because as mentioned in the lore video, there's a caretaker elf still in the world who will come around and like keep things tidy. So there's some like overgrowth on here to kind of show that this is an old structure, but we also got like greener leaves than the surrounding, which kind of shows that this is like magically protected maybe, and this stuff is thriving in a way that maybe these leaves are slightly, I don't know, it exists in a state other than around it, perhaps. Maybe I can do some stuff in the grass as well with, I can put moss out here or something, or like lime green concrete powder. Kind of make it look like the grass is greener here as well, or like more vibrant. And then this is meant to look like another geode. So we've got the amethyst in the core, and then this is meant to be like the calcite bit, and then the shadows here are meant to be like the dark, like the basalt around the outside. Yeah, and then I mentioned in the dwarf place I don't want any circles. The elf structures are going to be all circular towers. So this has come off a bit squarer. Is that right? The right word? A bit more square than I wanted it to. But yeah, especially if you look at it from above, you'll see the circle. See, it's a bit more circular. And then, yeah, I think this was in the lore video, but everything's like towers and stuff, so they're away from the ground where it's dangerous at night. They're up above the tree line, so they have an unobstructed view at the moon at night, all that sort of stuff. And then I don't know, how am I going to show this? I'll try and fly around it, but the roof, I like this thing, right? Let's try and fly around. Can I see? So it starts here, the amethyst in the roof, and it kind of spirals around up to the top. So can I kind of see? Yeah. So I think that's going to be a feature of maybe not every building in the elf stuff, but a few of them, because yeah, farming amethyst is a tedious process, so we'll see. Maybe I can come up with a way to farm it, or I can find some geodes where I don't know, where I'm likely to keep them loaded a bunch. I have had a sneaky look underneath my town where I'm working at the moment, and unfortunately I think any geodes there, they're too deep for me to load them in necessarily. So yeah, I'll have to see. Oh, that looks pretty cool. What's the orange? Is that the that's the trapdoors? I guess they occupy a whole block on the map. Interesting. So yeah, that's, I guess, each of these outposts. Time to head back and put up my new maps in the I think these are going to go in the village, actually. Let's have another look. This is the cool angle that I liked from the lore video. I think I landed further back maybe, but yeah, this was like the angle from the lore video. Oh, I'm excited. I have no other elf buildings designed really, but I'm excited to do something here. There's a wolf. Okay, I'll see you back in the village. Okay, I'm back. Almost. Just needed to mark this as the direction of the elf outpost. Let's get back to the village. It's raining. Every video. Can't escape it. Okay, I'm back. Let's do this. Then this. And right. This unfortunately shaped dwarf outpost. Right, let's double check this. Can I copy and paste? Right. Name, squiggle, date, description. Name, squiggle, date, description. Okay, I've formatted the book and I've done this. I've put the date in here as the date that the lore video went out, because that's when they first got seen. So that's the dwarf one, and then I've done the same for the elf one. Turns out copy and paste does work in here. So I just copy that over and then boom. Yeah. I think these are going to be one-off maps, unlike this one, where I'd like to go back and get the village now that I've rebuilt it. Do a like before and after thing. But these, I'm not going to build anything around them because these are like, I don't know, solitary by design basically. So yeah, this was a zoomed out map, wasn't it? And it's missing the Copper Shrine Church building. I do have one more thing in my notes, which is kind of out of place now that we're at the end of the episode, but I guess I'll just quickly mention it. So kind of expanding on the lore from last episode a bit, seeing as I've been talking about the elves and the dwarves this episode. I guess if we take Lord of the Rings as the example, typically elves and dwarves are kind of, they don't like each other and they're like enemies kind of. In this world, I don't think I want them to be enemies necessarily. I still think they won't like each other very much. But it'll be more due to like the general like personality or like temperament of the dwarves rather than I don't know, any like just like cultural differences that they don't understand about each other, and it's kind of manifested as like a distrust of each other maybe. But they've never been outright enemies. They've never been to war with each other because this world has its like definitive. I've checked you. You don't have melons. It does have a definitive like enemy, the antithesis, the last of the different gods, right? So, yeah, like the zombies and skeletons and stuff, it's black and white. They're the evil creatures and monsters and stuff. And the antithesis is there's a bit more grey to him because he still serves a function and governs the nether and like still communes with his siblings and stuff, but he's still kind of nefarious and malevolent in his intentions. Yeah, there is a black and white good versus evil. So the elves and the dwarves would never have gone to war with each other because there's this established, agreed upon, bigger fish to fry sort of thing. Yeah, I just wanted to set that expectation, I guess. I just yeah, I don't want the factions to be at war with each other. I feel like it would just get messy. But then, as with some other stuff that I mentioned in the lore video, it plays into the mechanics of the game, right? Like, yeah, it's like player versus environment. So it's elves versus environment. It's dwarves versus environment. So everyone has the common enemy of zombies and dwarves, zombies and skeletons and so on and so forth. So next time I think I'm going to do another sort of less intense video. Hello. Darwin? No, what do I call him? Marvin, Jesus. Okay, the other one's going to have to be called Darwin now because I just to avoid the awkwardness of saying the wrong name. Yeah, next video I think will have to be another low intensity one. Ooh, that's working quite well now. Because yeah, the last episode, it was such a kind of unexpectedly big undertaking that it kind of burnt me out a little bit. So I think it's going to be a few like odd jobs that I need to do. One of which is like fixing the path between here and the village. There's that like a couple of spots on the bridge walkway thing where it's like not wide enough to get a horse through. Ooh, I finally got into a new chest here. Nice. Got a couple of odd jobs like that. We can go to the desert and get that updated map. This is going to be backed up like crazy, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll probably do those I could also probably go and get do a bit of netherite farming. I've been stockpiling a little bit of TNT, so I can finally get netherite back on my tools. And then maybe I can reflect on some more lore stuff. Or maybe if anyone's made it this far in the video, if there's any questions or anything about lore or plans for the different, like, the way the factions are going to work out and stuff, I'd love to maybe talk more about that. But as I say, I feel like the algorithm didn't pick up that lore video, so not a lot of people have seen it, and maybe I'm just misreading the behind the scenes statistics that YouTube gives you. Maybe just no one watched it because no one's interested. So maybe let me know that as well. And I'll just keep the lore to myself. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Hopefully, somehow, if somehow you've got to this video and didn't see the lore video, go back an episode and check it out. I put so much work into it, and it seems like no one's seen it. So, but I'm really quite proud of that video. Like, as I say, I put in so much work, way more than I've done in any of my other videos, and yeah, just it kind of sucks that no one's seen it. But yeah, that'll be it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, maybe you could leave a like and help me out a little bit. And if you're interested in my little world building journey, whether it be lore or just the builds or whatever, maybe you could subscribe, and yeah, we can explore stuff together. It'd be great. Yeah, anyway, thanks guys. See you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.